My name is John. I am 25 years old, and my girlfriend had been cheating on me for all 5 years of our relationship. After I found out and kicked her out of the house, she said, "You're just a loser. I only needed you for money and a place to live. You're a real failure." After hearing those words, I fell into a long depression. After a year of treatment and isolation, I started to feel better and was able to return to a normal life. The scent of turpentine and oil paints always greeted me when I walked through the door of our apartment. It was a scent that, to me, was synonymous with love. My name is John, and at 25, I was living what I thought was the dream life in Seattle. I was a software developer, but more importantly, I was Emily's partner. Emily, with her wild hair and even wilder dreams, was the artist who painted our world in colors I never knew existed. We met at an art gallery, where I was volunteering to escape the monotony of code and algorithms. She was there, her eyes alight, with the passion of creation, and from that moment, we were inseparable. Emily was the sun in my universe, and I, perhaps naively, believed our love was the kind that would last a lifetime. Our life together was like a canvas, filled with her. Vibrant paintings and my tech gadgets scattered around. Friends would come over, look at our setup, and say, "You guys are the perfect couple." And I believed it. We were the epitome of modern love, or so I thought. But beneath this picturesque life, there were cracks I was blind to. Cracks that were not just in the walls of our apartment, but in the very foundation of our relationship. One evening, after a day spent debugging lines of code, I came home to a sight that would shatter my world. Emily was there, but not in the way I was used to. She was packing her bags, her movements swift and determined. The sight was jarring, like a sudden cold wind on a warm day. She looked at me. Her eyes, not the shock of Emily's departure, left me in a state of disbelief. The apartment felt empty, her absence like a void that sucked the life out of every corner. I tried to piece together our relationship, looking for signs I might have missed. Her late nights, the unexplained absences, the sudden need for more space in our relationship. I turned to our mutual friends for answers, but they were as surprised as I was. However, one friend, Mark, who had always been somewhat distant, hinted at something more. He mentioned seeing Emily with another man at a cafe, but he thought it was just a friend. This seed of doubt grew into a full-blown suspicion. I dove into her social media, emails, and even her sketchbooks, looking for any sign of infidelity. The more I searched, the more I found subtle hints that she had been living a double life. Her social media posts, once filled with our shared adventures, now seemed to lack my presence. There were photos of her at art shows, galleries, and even at dinners, but I was nowhere to be seen. Emails from unknown senders with affectionate sign-offs, the kind you'd expect from a lover, not a friend. And then, in her sketchbooks, hidden among the vibrant landscapes and abstract forms, were sketches of a man. His features were lovingly detailed, his eyes captured with a warmth that made my heart sink. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was on the brink of uncovering something monumental. Each piece of evidence was like a puzzle piece, and the picture forming was not one I wanted to see. The digital trail led me to a gallery opening she had attended alone. I found the events one rainy afternoon while sifting through old emails. I stumbled upon a series of messages between Emily and someone named Alex. The emails were affectionate, filled with promises of meeting up when I was away for work. My heart sank as I read through their plans, their shared dreams, and their love confessions. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Emily had been cheating on me for all 5 years of our relationship. Not just a fleeting affair, but a parallel life. The betrayal was not just in the act, but in the depth of her deceit. I confronted her over the phone, my voice shaking with a mix of anger and heartbreak. She didn't deny it. Instead, she confirmed my worst fears, adding that she had stayed with me because I provided stability, a safety net while she pursued her art and her other life with Alex. How could you do this to us, Emily? To me? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper, the pain evident in every word. She sighed, a sound that carried years of secrets. John, you were my rock, my anchor. But sometimes, love isn't about stability. It's about passion, about feeling alive. Alex, he made me feel things I thought were lost to me. The words cut deep, each one a reminder of the life I thought we had built together. So, all those nights you said you were working late, those weekends at art shows, you were with him? Yes, she admitted, her voice steady. I was. I'm sorry, John. I never meant for it to go this far, but it did. And I couldn't stop it. I felt the room closing in, the walls of our shared life crumbling around me. And the sketches, the ones of him in your sketchbook, those were your feelings for him, weren't they? They were, she said softly. I poured my heart into those sketches, just like I used to pour it into our life together. The silence that followed was heavy, filled with the weight of betrayal and lost love. How do I move on from this, Emily? How do I recover from knowing you lived a double? The days following the revelation were a blur. I moved through life like a ghost, my emotions numbed by the sheer weight of betrayal. I stopped going to work, stopped eating properly, and my apartment became a shrine to my despair. Friends tried to reach out, but I pushed them away, unable to face their pity or their well-meaning advice. One evening, Mark came over unannounced. He found me in a state of disarray, surrounded by empty takeout containers and unwashed dishes. He sat with me, not speaking much, just being there. It was in this silence that I found a sliver of comfort, a reminder that not all was lost. His presence was like a soft blanket on a cold night, offering warmth without words. Mark suggested therapy, and after much reluctance, I agreed. The sessions were tough, peeling back layers of pain and self-doubt. Dr. Helen, my therapist, had this way of looking at you, like she could see right through to your core. She helped me understand that my worth wasn't defined by Emily's actions or words. You are more than what she made you feel, she said, her voice gentle yet firm. Your value is inherent, not contingent on someone else's fidelity. Each session was like digging through the rubble of my life, searching for something salvageable. I talked about how Emily's departure left me feeling hollow, like the vibrant colors she painted with had drained out of my world. Dr. Helen listened, her eyes kind but unyielding, guiding me to confront the pain rather than flee from it. Would I ever find the strength to move forward? I began to see small signs of recovery. The first was when I started cleaning my apartment, not because I wanted to, but because I couldn't stand the mess any longer. It was a physical manifestation of my internal chaos, and cleaning it felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. Mark noticed the change, his eyes lighting up with a cautious optimism. You're starting to come back, he said, his voice filled with relief. Therapy sessions continued, each one a battle against the shadows of betrayal. Dr. Helen encouraged me to write, to pour. A year had passed since the day Emily left, a year filled with therapy sessions, isolation, and the slow, painstaking process of recovery. The world outside my window had changed with the seasons, but inside, I was still, piecing myself back together. One crisp autumn day, I decided to venture out, to walk through the park, seeking some semblance of normalcy. As I wandered through the vibrant foliage, I met Sarah. She was sitting on a bench, her sketchbook open, capturing the scene with strokes of color. Her energy was palpable, a stark contrast to the muted tones of my life. She looked up, caught my gaze, and smiled. It was a genuine, unguarded smile that reached her eyes, sparking something within me I thought had long been extinguished. We started talking. About art, about Seattle, about nothing and everything. Her laughter was infectious, and for the first time in what felt like an eternity, I felt a flicker of interest in someone else. Sarah was an artist, like Emily, but there was something different about her. She didn't carry the same weight of expectations or the shadows of past betrayals. Our friendship grew naturally, like the leaves on the trees around us. With Sarah, I found myself opening up in ways I hadn't with anyone since Emily. She didn't know about my past, and I didn't feel the need to share it. She saw me for who I was now, not who I had been. This new relationship, built on mutual respect and genuine affection, began to heal the scars Emily had left. One evening, as we sat on the same bench where we first met, watching the sunset paint, the sky in hues of orange and pink, Sarah turned to me. Her eyes, reflecting the fading light, were earnest. "John," she said, her voice soft yet firm, "you're not a failure. You're one of the strongest people I know." Her words, so different from Emily's, felt like a balm to my soul. They didn't erase the pain or the betrayal, but they offered a new perspective, a new way to see myself. With Sarah, I wasn't just the man who had been cheated on. With Sarah's unwavering support, I returned to work, my fingers finding solace in the familiar rhythm of coding. The office, once a place of escape from Emily's world, now became a sanctuary where I could rebuild my sense of self. Friends who had given me space during my darkest times slowly re-entered my life. We shared lunches, talked about everything from tech to art, and I felt the warmth of companionship again. Inspired by Emily's passion for painting, but driven by my own journey, I picked up a brush. My first attempts were clumsy, the strokes uncertain, but there was something liberating about creating without expectation. Each canvas became a testament to my healing, a splash of color against the gray backdrop of my past. Life wasn't perfect, but it was mine, and it was real. One crisp morning, as I checked my emails, there was one from Emily. My heart skipped a beat, not from longing, but from the surprise of her reaching out. She was moving to New York with Alex, and she wanted to apologize for the pain she had caused. Her words were sincere, filled with regret. Reading them, I felt a mix of emotions swirling within me, but mostly, I felt closure. I replied with a simple message. "Thank you for the apology. I wish you well, but I've moved on." Sarah and I, our bond deepening with each passing day, continued to grow closer. Our relationship was profound, built on mutual respect and a shared understanding of life's complexities. We walked through the same park where we first met, the leaves now a vibrant tapestry under our feet. As we strolled, I realized that sometimes the darkest moments lead to the brightest futures. The future for John and Sarah? It was a canvas yet to be painted, filled with potential and promise. We talked about traveling, about exploring new cities, new cultures, and perhaps one day settling down somewhere with a view that inspired both of us. But for now, we were content with the present, with each other's company and the simple joy of walking side by side, our hands intertwined, our hearts healing together. In this new chapter of my life, I found that don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.